So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Kevin Deere. I'm the VP of Broker Experience at Newton. And you have our extraordinary trainer, Sarah Schneider, with us today. She's going to be leading us through our most recent edition of the MPP Digital Link. And really the focus of today is to teach everyone to sell MPP like a superstar, really become that ninja and that expert on how to position insurance as part of your conversation with your client right up front in the application process. Many of you may know or may not know, I came from a bank back in the day, and in branchland, branches were really the most successful sales channel of selling creditor insurance for many banks across the country. And that was largely due to how they were taught to position insurance right up front in the mortgage conversation. So today we're going to focus on the tools that we are providing you directly in Velocity to make that conversation easier. And these improvements really make it so that you can tell people about insurance as their overall protected mortgage payment as you're going through the application. It's a much easier conversation to have with people if you say, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, we've gone through the application based on what you're looking to do. You would like to be able to have a mortgage for $500,000 and your total protected payment is going to be $2,500. Is that affordable for you? By asking that question, is it affordable for you? And they agree. You're going to take objections out later on in the mortgage process about bringing insurance to the forefront as you go through the signing package. So we're really going to focus on that and how you can position a quick quote early in the conversation. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sarah to really run through that first part of the mortgage application where you can generate the quick quote. So a couple housekeeping things before we get started. If anyone has questions, there is a Q&A section that we'd like you to type your questions into. We have the lovely Vivian Martin with us today that she'll also help moderate the questions along with myself. And I know if you have any other commentary, you can add something to the chat, or if you want to raise your hand, we can actually allow you to speak. So we'll go through that as well. So that being said, Sarah, let me turn it over to you.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so we're starting off in our deal because naturally this is where we're all going to be doing this from. In our mortgage request section, we have super handy for you where we've actually inserted the space to get an MPP quote right next to that total monthly payment and the property taxes as well. So right up front, as Kevin mentioned, when you're giving your client that quote, you're telling them the MPP amount as well. So they have time to kind of, digest that, and then you're not surprising them after the fact that they've already decided on the monthly budget. Do you want to pay even more in monthly insurance? Well, probably not, because they didn't budget for that, right? So the best way by far is to present that right up front. And that's why we've included that right here for you as part of the payment summary. It's super easy to generate. Just click on this Get a Quick Quote guy, and that'll bounce you down to our lovely insurance section here. Here you can see you've got the property to be insured. You've got their current address as well as separated by names here. So you can see the little blue button here, Get a Quick Quote. That is what I need to click naturally to get that quote to generate for me. So once I click that, and I scroll below, I see my response quote from MPP. It actually gives me that monthly payment broken down into disability as well as life insurance, and it breaks it up by borrower too. So if they are a married couple, then when I create the form, an online application, they'll only have to do just the one. But if they are separate, then it will generate two separate applications or online quotes for them. So very easy to do. So now that I've got my quote and the deal's been approved, I'm working in my conditions and documents section normally because naturally this is where I do all of my conditions. And so right here, that's why we chose to put this in here for you. You have the MPP insurance. So by clicking this, I've added this condition in order to generate my MPP. And now I'm ready to do that. Just click on this green generate button. That will once again bounce me back down to where, again, I have just to click this one simple button to generate my form. And that's not only going to generate my form, but also now my link. So right here in the response, I've got both options for me, and I can click to open the PDF and download as I want, or I can just copy and send the link to my client through email, or even easier, we've actually provided you a way to do this in your conditions document section when you're sending out the rest of the final signing package.
Sarah, if I could just jump in quickly here.
Yeah.
I think we just need to quickly just reiterate the quick quote process.
Okay.
The quick quote process can be done at the application time. The approval does not have to be in place. So you can get an idea of what that payment option or that payment amount will be. So you can quote that total protected payment. So in that payment summary section again, which is in the mortgage request, you're just able to click that quick quote and it's going to generate in there with the MPP insurance payment, which will be inclusive of life and disability if they qualify based on their ages. So that, again, doesn't matter what stage that application is in, we can still receive the quote. Now, for you to generate forms and get your digital link, when you do it through that condition and document section to generate your form, we recommend that you do it once the deal is approved, so you know who the lender is, because it could be a lender that you would generate a refer me form at this point, depending on what part of the province or the country you're in. So doing it at the approval status is best. And then you have the digital link and the PDF form available for you. And what is best about that, you can decide how your clients are most comfortable fulfilling insurance for you. I've actually made Kyra a panelist for the webinar as well. So she can jump in at any point. So we've got the unicorn herself able to give us any tips and tricks along the way. So Kyra, feel free to jump in whenever you want. So.
Okay, thanks, Kevin.
Yes, welcome, Kyra. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so now we have left off where we clicked to generate our form, and we have our PDF and digital link. So as I mentioned, you can simply send them from here to your client, or even easier, we put them right in your conditions and documents section so that when you're sending out that final package, no extra steps for you. It's super, super easy to send them all together. So let me show you how that's done. So back in my conditions section here, I have my MPP as we saw before. And now you will see I have my digital link here, which again, I can copy from here, or I can download the form. And when I go out to send my signing package, as many of you are probably familiar with by now, you just simply check off the conditions that you want to send. And then under our actions button here, we have the client portal option. So this is a really great option because it offers them every possible alternative for how they would like to get that form or get that application done for you. And we're going to look at that in just a second. Another way to do it is to send it via SMS. So, you know, clients are always on the go. I personally have my phone on me all the time. If you send me something via SMS and I can do it online, I'm much more likely to do it and in a much, much faster response rate.
Yeah. One important thing to remember, folks, is that when you do send it via email, you will have all the attachments as part of that email.
Yeah.
When you send it as a text, you're just sending them the link to the client portal. So they will just have the digital link available within the client portal for fulfillment. So you may want to do a combination of both. You first send out your client portal through email so they can get the attachment, depending on how they're most comfortable fulfilling the insurance request. And then when you do a follow-up, you can send it via SMS so they can just click from their phone to do that as well. So Sarah, do you mind just canceling that out just for a quick second there?
Yeah, sure.
Another thing that I wanted to point out in the line for MPP, you will see it says complete, 0 of 2. We have now started ingesting statuses of your MPP application into Velocity. So you know whether they still have completed the application or not, if they've done the digital link. So we've got different statuses, awaiting application. We'll show you the other ones in the CRM section that it pulls into. And then you'll also know once you've received the application. These statuses aren't just updated by the digital link. If you were to get a paper-based application, it gets emailed back to you and you send it into MPP. Once MP updates it on their side, it will also update the status of the application, and you will see that here as well. So we've incorporated a great way to stay in touch with your clients and have insurance top of mind through the follow-up process in CRM as well. So we'll touch on that at the end of the training session today.
Awesome, thanks. And I loved what you said about sending both ways. So send the client portal over email and SMS, because then your clients have the option of whether they want to complete it on their phone or on their computer. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that up again, the client portal email request, just to show you what that looks like. And then I'll show you again on the client's end. Okay, so it's normal. A lot of you hopefully used this client portal before. It's very similar to how you've been used to using it, except now it actually includes here the link to the online application. And what we'll see in a minute is once they actually do go to access the portal, they once again have an option to click to fill the application in online instead of the form. So all the forms attached here, go ahead, type in your message, hit send, and then let's see what that goes through to your client as. Bear with me just 1 second.
While Sarah's pulling that up, you'll notice within the email body there was a detailed description of the MPP link. We've also given you full control of what that messaging is within your profile section. So you can also change that detail to be a different template if you want it to be. And whenever a digital link is produced, it will be hyperlinked with their names as part of the email.
Yeah, awesome. So this is what it looks like when it goes through to them. You can see super professional, laying out exactly what it is included in my package. I've even got my email signature and the links here with this messaging here that is automated, as Kevin said. So you can change it if you like in your profile page if you want to say something else, but it is there for you every time, so you don't have to worry about explaining to your clients about the link. Okay, so the MPP form is attached here should they choose to use that. Otherwise, they can click to jump to the link where they can actually fill it in online.
Yeah, so they can do that, or they can actually open up the client portal.
Yep. So if they do open the portal, as mentioned, you can see that it has another option to fill in the form.
I think you have your portal open up at the top there in the other tab. That's why it's done that.
Oh, just 1 second. Okay, here we go. As you can see, it's got the list of the documents that you're asking for, just on the normal portal that you're used to seeing and many brokers absolutely love. As well, the whole Manulife explanation here and the links to the online application. As well, of course, the option here to upload via PDF, should they so choose to have used the form instead. So you're really offering them, every option, whichever is easier for you. I want you to just it to be like the most convenient way possible for you to get your forms in.
So
okay.
if Sarah were to click on Elaine or Jerry, if they are husband and a wife, either of them can fill out the application, and the link, the MPP link is good for both of them, the one link. So here it says Jerry and Elaine. Now, if they weren't related and you had a son and a parent, they would have two separate links, so they could fill them out separately as well.
Yeah, so unmarried, it'd be two separate, yeah. Awesome. Okay. Do we want to jump into how the CRM ties into all this?
Sure. Why don't you just give everyone just a quick look of the profile page there, Sarah, so they can see where they actually update their MPP commentary if they want.
Okay. So me profile, and we hope you guys check this out again because we've made lots of changes in here, especially to go along with the new CRM. Lots of updates happening here. And you have, once it loads, we have an MPP section where you can change that default text there. So right here.
Yeah. So I know in different provinces, they like to say different things. And if you're working with the great MPP sales team, they'll also give you some other language that you may want to use. So you can actually input it here and have it templated over and over again. So,
yeah.
Okay.
All part of the automation process.
All right.
All right, so let's jump into the CRM. So we've actually added in default MPP campaigns for you here. So when you go under your campaigns and you click to create, and you find all these super awesome turnkey ones that we've made, best practice by far, we've now added an MPP one. So easy enough, just come and click a little pencil to say you want to use that campaign. And everything's already been done for you. We've already input the dynamic audience. Really, all you guys have to do with these campaigns, these pre-made ones, is add the template and click that you want it to be published. So it couldn't be any easier. Kevin, do you want to go through the details of it?
Yeah, sure. So the way the campaign is set up is it's based on deals that are in a approved status for all approvals. So these are live deals. And the MPP status is awaiting application. So Sarah, if you just click on the drop down there for awaiting, once they've applied or waived or active or the file is closed, the campaign won't continue to send to that person. So it's dynamic and smart. So as soon as that status is updated, it's going to stop sending the additional pieces if they're not required. Okay. Now, if we move down to the actual stages, we have 3 stages that are set to go out. The first stage being 3 days after approval. So if you think about it, you've already sent out your client portal, their approval package. They could have the PDF available to them, but we're now going to follow up with them 3 days after to say, hey, part of your approval package, you had an MPP or insurance application. Here's the reasons why you should have insurance, and it's going to send out the digital link that's unique to each borrower as part of that template. So I don't know if you want to quickly show that template, Sarah, or we can do those all afterwards. So MPP1. So the way the template's laid out, it's about protecting your loved ones and how the mortgage is the largest debt many of us will have in our lifetime. And as you scroll down, you'll actually be able to see 2 things. Where it says get protected down, that already has the link. It's a merge feature that's automatically done that will pull in that borrower's MPP link. We can also have the merge tag that will show what their total MPP protected payment is. And you could change that if you want to be different, just the actual MPP total or what their total mortgage protected payment is. It's your choice of what you have there. But this will automatically send out for you. And again, it will increase your chances of selling MPP and staying on top of the process. Now, the next part of the campaign is it will go out 5 days before closing. And it goes out 5 days before closing saying MPP or your insurance is part of our obligation as mortgage agents to make sure that you're protected with this new debt obligation you're taking on. So it is a condition of the mortgage payment, and it will again have that link in the template as well. So I don't know if you quickly want to show that template, Sarah. And again, very similar, and it talks about it being when this is completed, all the other conditions of your mortgage commitment are met. you'll be able to proceed with the mortgage. So again, making it sure that it's a priority to have the application completed. That's what we're really trying to do. Now, if the client still doesn't fill anything out, they haven't actually completed the digital link or the PDF, we have one that will go out 30 days after the closing date when the deal is funded and awaiting payment. And again, this will be for saying, hey, it's never too late to protect your loved ones. And that's, again, the focus of it. And it will have the digital link connected to it. So another great way to continue to have insurance top of mind and make sure that they get protected now. So we've had a lot of great feedback on this so far. People really like the digital link process because now people don't have to fuss with paper. And again, you don't need to worry about, once that application comes in, sending it into MPP as an extra step as an agent that you have to do. It is all done right through the digital link and makes it simple and easy. Okay. Kyra, there's a couple questions here. I don't know if maybe I'll just get you to answer that have popped up. Lynn has asked, is common law considered married so only one person needs to complete the application?
And no, anybody that's on the mortgage needs to complete the application.
Okay, perfect. So there's an e-sign question here, Sarah. When the client completes their own application through the MPP link, is there an area for e-signature? Will it then be available for us in the conditions area? A copy of that can be viewed. So I can actually answer that one. Completion of the digital link, Jackie, does not require any signature. It is part of the legal process that they go through when they're accepting and consenting on the digital link. So you actually don't need that MPP document to be signed any further. So the system will also ingest the indemnity form as well. So you'll have a copy of that within Velocity if they've completed the digital link. Okay. And then Sarah, I'll let you show this one. I do not have the MPP template in my Velocity CRM. How do we add that to my CRM? So
okay, so
maybe get you quickly to show that.
Yeah. So I'm guessing what happened there is he has not clicked through to actually create templates. So if you are looking under templates here, these are the ones that you've already been working on. So if you go up here and click create template, that's where you're going to actually see the designated ones. So you have the network, and if you switch on over to the generic, which is the ones the Newton designers made for you, you'll find the MPP ones in here.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah.
And Kyra, I'm actually going to call on you for this one because it has to do with compliance and the compliance officers in each brokerage. Maybe not necessarily all being up to speed with the digital link process. How have you been working with the offices to make sure that they know that the digital link is now part of their compliance process so they don't have to have the signed form or waiver? How do you suggest the team goes about that in a particular brokerage?
I believe the brokers will still get an indemnification certificate, correct?
Yes, they will.
There's really no change. You'll have your indemnification certificate, so you'll know it's been completed.
Okay. Tom, I hope that helps. If you need anything else, just may reach out to Kyra or your BDM from Manulife, and they can probably help you out with that a little further.
Kevin, I did want to say one thing though about the CRM and the follow-up, because every bank lender out there does a follow-up on the client if they have not taken insurance, trying to sell them after funding. So I think it's a real missed opportunity for brokers not to take advantage of doing the same thing through the CRM, because that way, at least if the client takes it from the broker, they're getting a portable product. Whereas if they're taking it, post-funding from the banks or from the lenders who do these active campaigns, like 3 months and 6 months out, there's active campaigns going on. And clearly, if the client is taking it from the bank lender, it's going to be a non-portable product, which affects the longevity and the business cycle for brokers. So it's just really important to take advantage of this feature.
Yeah, great point, Kyra. And I think people should also incorporate it into every mortgage anniversary checkup that they do, because you can sell MPP all the way through the mortgage cycle now up until term, correct?
Yeah, I mean, there's no hard, fast rules when, people can apply, but the longer it takes for them to apply, then sometimes insurance companies think something maybe is going on. Might be more rigorous underwriting that happens, but it's not uncommon for people to decide 30 days, 60 days, 3 months after funding that, maybe, hey, we should have thought about that insurance after all. They've gotten into their house, they're more comfortable with their new payments and everything. So sometimes we see people applying a year or two later. It's totally fine. Absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Kyra. Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to cover?
I don't think so. I just do want to say you do need to be registered for MPP Hub in order for the link to work for you. So Kyra, do you want to just give them a quick shout where they should go to get registered for that?
Actually, and unless I missed it, but did you show them where the hub is in Velocity?
No, we have not yet.
Okay, so let's go there.
So, oops, I'm not sharing my screen. Give me 1 second. Okay, so under me in the top here, you have the MPP Hub link. So just one click to jump on over to that hub.
And then you'll just have to set up your Manulife ID one time. So you're going to click on that. And I believe it'll walk you through. And there's an email there, support@brokersupportcenter.com, that they'll be able to help you out with that setup. So as soon as that is set up, you're into the MPP Hub, which is a great place to keep track of your all the statuses of all your deals. And you can create new MPP application forms through there as well for maybe deals that aren't in the system. And you can get indemnity certificates in there. So there's a whole host of things you can do in that hub to keep track of all your MPP stuff.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, well, I think that's it, guys, unless there's anything else, Kevin.
No, I think that's all that I had. I'm just going to check the questions, see if there's anything else.
Looks like Vivian is actually answering those by typing.
Okay.
I am.
Kevin, I had a question, and I might have missed it just because I'm doing so many things. So you said that so 5 days before closing, the digital link goes out to the client.
Yeah, so it's 3 days after approval, 5 days before closing, and then we have another one set for 30 days after closing, if they haven't applied yet.
Okay, gotcha. So by the 30 days after closing, that's kind of like the third follow-up that's going on.
That's the third follow-up, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I just wanted to double check on that.
Yeah, and we're able to add more to that if we want, or anyone wants, by adding an additional template if they want to modify one and do that. But you can add to the campaigns. That's just the default one that's currently set up.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, I had a question here, everyone. Kira, maybe you can answer this. If the clients waive during the approval process, then change their mind, what would the broker have to do to create another link?
Yeah, that's exactly a great question. So that's when you would use the MPP Hub, because basically once it's waived and sent into us and you've received your indemnification certificate, it's locked down in our system. So if a client changes their mind, which does happen, then you would go to the MPP Hub, and there you can create a new application form very quickly and easily using just a bit of the information like client's birthday, property information. You can literally fill that out in about 2 minutes. But you would create it through the MPP Hub using a tab. It's called MPP Quick, and you'll get set. You can get set instructions. It's very easy though, but that's how you do it.
Perfect. Thank you.
We also had a question about partial coverage come up here, Kyra, and how that works with the digital link. So, is that possible?
Yeah, so we've been getting a lot of questions like, oh my God, who would have thought we'd be in an era where like $1 million mortgage amount is not enough, right? So I wouldn't use the digital link if it's over $1 million. That's our maximum threshold on the life coverage. What I would do is I'd probably use the PDF and and get the client to call in. We don't have a really seamless, way of doing it right now. Sometimes mortgage brokers will alter it and make it at $1 million. So the clients have some coverage in place. The only thing I caution about that is, we do worry about lawsuits a little bit. If someone's got like a $1.5 million mortgage and, they're taking $1 million. But generally speaking, that's not our client is really not in that zone. So if it's going over $1 million, they are ineligible. They can get insurance, but it's more by calling in. We have $1 million worth of term clients can get, and they can get $1 million of MPP. So there is a way to do it, but not unfortunately through the digital link at this time.
Great, thanks, Kara. Okay, Viv, was there any other questions that we needed to look at? Or do we cover?
I think we're okay. I think they're covered.
Awesome.
Christine had one, but it was, does this work in conjunction with sending an e-sign package? Does it have to be sent separately? And I think we know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yes. Go ahead, Kev.
Yes, that's a great question. Yeah, the answer is when you send out the client portal, you do have to send a separate e-sign package to the customer if you want them to do e-sign MPP. But you do have the digital link that will still go out as the package as part of the process if you want as well. So you can remove the PDF with the portal request if you are going to send it as an e-sign item as well. So we give you that flexibility to decide how you want to do it.
Awesome. The thing about the digital link, which is really unfortunate, but in BC, because we have different regulatory issues in this province, the digital link doesn't appear for mortgages essentially where the lender has not agreed to sign up and allow us on their mortgages. So if the digital link does not appear and you're doing a mortgage in BC, it's because that particular lender has not allowed us to be on their mortgage, and that's where a referral form would generate and you wouldn't see the digital link available to you.
Yeah, perfect. Good point, Kara.
Here, one last question. If the client takes the coverage 30 days after funding, does the broker still get commission on that?
Absolutely, 100%. We're not that mean.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone. We're going to provide this recording. We'll send it around so you all have it. So don't worry about that if you need a review of what you saw today.
Yeah, and we'll put it up on the MPP training page as well. So look for it there if you don't see it in your inbox. So
okay. Terrific.
Great. Thanks for attending, everyone. Appreciate your feedback.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.
And take care. Have a great day, everyone.